Hello everyone! It is so nice to be back on my Let's Play world. It feels like it has been forever, but we are finally back and I have so many big plans. And one of those plans is one that is going to take us a long time to build. Though for you it'll probably be only 1 or 2 episodes, but for me it's going to be a very grindy project. Which means I have to get some of our side quest stuff done. I have to build some new farms. I have to go find some new blocks. We have to do a lot of resource gathering. I have to do a lot of planning and all that fun stuff. But before we get to anything crazy, I did update this world to 1.21.4, which means that we have the creaking, which is not exactly important right now, but I need the pale moss block, which is why I updated the world. So before we do anything too crazy today, we are going to go get the pale moss block, and then we can really get started on building. So I'm going to gather up some more rockets and we're just gonna fly off in a direction and then hope that we can find it. Because that's really the only other way I can think of doing this. So let's go get some more rockets and let's skedaddle. Okay, we've gone out a number of thousands of blocks, but I've finally found the Pale Garden. And I haven't really explored them in general, so I don't really know too much of what there is here, but I'm loving the vibe. I love what it does with the sky. I love the way it looks. Oh, it's just so nice. But we're really only here for the moss, and then I'll take a few saplings as well, so that I can have those. And I'm not sure if I need silk touch or if I need shears, but I would like some of these. Ooh, perfect. I do only need silk touch. So I'm going to take some of these and then get some saplings, get a bunch of moss, and then head back. And then the next goal is something that I've never actually done before. It's going to be to build a moss farm because I'm going to need a lot of moss. But I've never built one before, so I'm gonna have to do a little tutorial watch to try and figure out how to make one, and then we'll make that. So I'm gonna gather up everything and then we'll head on back home. Alright, so I'm back and I cleared out the spot where we had the failed creeper farm from a little while back now, just in our little redstone area, and it's just gonna go right there. It's raining, just kind of off in the corner. And so now I just need to build the thing. But like I said, I've got no clue. So I'm gonna find a tutorial for an easy version, and then I'll get started and, you know, do our usual time lapse while I'm building. So let's get to building. Okay, so it is done and it was a pain to build, I'm gonna be honest, because of how big it is. I was not expecting it to be quite so big. So I had to expand the room a little bit, but it's not that bad. So yeah, and this one is built by, I watched the tutorial from GamerCory on YouTube, obviously. So that's who it is, and it's really simple. Just gotta turn that on and it'll it'll go on its own. Work like that. And then everything just goes into there. And then I can just put a whole bunch of bone meal into that chest and it'll all flow into this dispenser. And as we know, I have this monstrosity that I can make a whole bunch of bone meal with. And I don't have any in there right now because I took all of it and put it in there. But we can use that. Let me just get rid of this safety hazard. So that will work perfectly for that. I do have to replace one of the hoppers and chests because I stole them to go over there because I didn't grab enough. But yeah, so I can just take all of this, put it in here just like usual, and it'll just work and fill itself up until I get a whole bunch. I still want to make that automatic so that half of it just goes over there into here, and then at some point maybe I'll connect the two, but I'm too lazy to do that right now. But yeah, so now that we have this going, we can just let it go for a little while doing stuff, and we can get a whole bunch of moss. I'm going to need many stacks for the project. It's going to be really big, so that can just run for a little bit. I might just AFK here because I don't want it to break if I accidentally leave the area. But we have that done, and I have a whole bunch of other resources that we need to get, but these ones are ones that I'm gonna have to actually go mining for. So I think we'll just leave this for now. I'll AFK here for a little bit, and then we'll go on our journey to get the rest of the resources. We need a whole bunch of tuff, we need a whole bunch of stone. Stone shouldn't really be an issue. I have a whole bunch of it already. But tuff, I'm gonna probably need a decent amount of gravel, woods, things like that. A whole bunch of different stuff. So I'll do a whole big resource gathering thing. Alright, so you might be wondering why I'm standing on top of the trading hall, and that's because I'm not sure where to build the project. So what we are building today is going to be a castle, but I didn't really put much planning into it, mostly because I like going into projects with nothing in mind except for what I want to build. So I didn't really think of how big I wanted it to be or how I wanted to build it or anything like that. So I'm a little stuck on where I want to build it. We do have all the plains biome over in that direction where we could build it, but I was also thinking that we could build it on the edge of the mountain, and I think that that would be pretty cool. Now, this is a project that I don't want to actually really have much use. I just want it to kind of sit there and look pretty. So I'm not really worried about the location. I'm just more worried about how good it's going to look. So we could put it either over there, or we could take some more of this plains biome over by the art gallery and put it over here. And I was thinking over here because of how much space there is. It's truly just empty space where we could put something. But I feel like it would be more fun to do something else over here and do mountains or terraining or anything like that. And then instead we can move over in the direction of the mountains that I had been wanting to do for a while, but couldn't think of the right project to put over there. And I feel like it would just be a really nice big backdrop to put over in this spot here. Now, right here would be more where the main entrance part of it is, but it would spread up and attach into the mountain as well. Now, whether I actually clear out mountain part so that we can make it so that I can go into the mountain, into the castle, I mean. I'm not actually entirely sure. I feel like I want to get the outer part built first, and then we can decide on the insides of it. But I really am just kind of stuck on this one little bit, and it doesn't really matter. I mean, if I want to, I can build a castle over there as well. I don't have to just build it over here, but I feel like I just want to put in enough thought into this because this is going to be the first project of 2025. And I feel like I want to start the year off right with a nice, good build. But I feel like if I put too much thought into it, then we're going to get nowhere. So I think I will just build it right here. I think. I feel like that is a pretty good choice. Now, I've gathered up a whole bunch of resources that we can use to build it. I've got tons of stone. We've got gravel, we've got moss, we got andesite, tuff, cobblestone, and we also have a whole bunch of the pale moss. So we're not really short on basics. I just kind of want to get the basic structure up right now. We'll see how long that takes, and then maybe I'll split into detailing into another episode, but maybe not. I guess we'll just have to see. So I think now that we have that settled, why don't we get started on building? Now this is going to be a long project. I don't really think it'll be a one sitting and done kind of thing. We're definitely gonna have to take this in for a little while. So let's take a deep breath and let's get ready to build. Okay, so I've spent a little while just doing some building, and I've hit kind of a roadblock, I'm gonna be honest. So here is kind of what we're working with so far, just from this angle. But if we go up here, you can see that there's kind of a bit of a vibe that I'm going for. But I'm kind of stuck. I don't really know what I want to do with really anything. So I feel like I need to take a little bit of a break from working on it. I was hoping that I would be able to get all of the base building done and then I could do details next episode, but I think this build is gonna be overall just a multi-episode build because I can't do it. I really like the way that it's looking so far, but just coming up with the entire thing completely as I'm building it, it's starting to eat me alive, quite frankly. So I think that we just need to go work on something else for the rest of this episode, and then we can come back to this next episode, hopefully. But yeah, also I tried a different style of tree and I actually really like it. There are definitely some things that I want to adjust with it, but I'm actually really happy with the way it looks. Not so much from this angle, but if you look at it from further away, it's definitely a lot nicer. I wanted to go for more of a branchy kind of look because I never really do that when I do my trees. Like if we we go down to this one, it's really just kind of one uniform blob. But I wanted to do something a little bit different with this one, experiment a little, and I really like it actually. I'll definitely make some adjustments to the leaves a bit as I go, as I'm building, but for what it is, I'm actually really happy with it. Anyways, so I was thinking about it, trying to decide what else we could work on for the rest of this episode, and I was thinking that a lot of the redstone that's just over by my beacon in that little hole there, particularly the bamboo farm and the sugarcane farm, are a little bad. They're a little inefficient, so I'm thinking that I might make some adjustments to it and rework it a little bit so that it works a little bit more efficiently and just overall is a little better. So I think that is what we're going to work on for the rest of this episode. And apologies that we didn't end up finishing this, but I just need some more time to think about how I want to do everything. It's definitely going to be a bit of a longer build, but I am happy with the way it's going, and it's also going to be taller, and I'm going to add a lot of detail into like that one, that little building there, that building there, that building there, and whatnot, but I'm happy with the way it's going. I just need more time to think about the future of it. Okay, so I'm going to gather up all of the resources that I'm going to need to rework my sugarcane and bamboo farm, and then we will get started on working on that. All right, so this is pretty much everything we're going to need apart from the stuff that's already in here. So to start it off, I'm just going to completely tear down everything that I have done here so that we can start completely from fresh and hopefully make it look a million times better. And while I'm in here, I might also do a little bit of work on making the way up and out a little bit easier. So it's not just a ladder, or, you know, just making things look slightly better in here. I know at one point I did say that I probably wasn't going to make the inside of this place look all that nice, but I feel like I should do a little bit of work on it, just a tiny bit, nothing crazy, just making it look a little bit more visually appealing. So let's get cracking. Okay, so I've made them a little bit better. So as we can see, now I've got mine carts collecting everything, which is better. And I'll just free cam it, be a little bit easier. So I have some slabs that are holding in the water on this side, and you know, they just grow as usual, and then it'll break it, except this time there won't be any losses, because before there was sugarcane getting stuck on the dirt and wasn't being picked up. So that's why I made the switch to minecarts, because minecarts can still pick up through blocks, and the slabs stop the water from going into the minecart area and messing with that. So now we have no losses. We pick up everything, or at least we should, and we'll get a little bit more from that. And then I did the same thing on this side. We have the mine cart just right there. And while I was working on it, you could probably see in the time lapse how I seem to go back and forth with how I was doing this side. And it's because I realized partway through that bamboo doesn't actually need water to grow. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll just like remove this one section so that it's just one block this way. And then I was working on doing the minecart, and I was making it so that it would go up and down like that, except the minecart kept getting stuck, and that was frustrating me. So I just went back to the little like loop that it makes there and decided that I would make it 2 blocks wide instead. So now we've got double the amount being produced, and I might end up duplicating this side as well so that there's another sugarcane farm on this side, just so that there's not like open space here that doesn't really need to be there, because like I already have the farms. Why not make them a little bit bigger? But I'm not sure. We'll see. I probably will do that at some point, but it'll mean that I need to make the minecart area a little bit bigger as well, and you know, make some more adjustments that I don't really feel like making right now. But that is that. And I was going to fix the ladder and make it look a little bit nicer, but I don't really want to do that right now, if I'm entirely honest. I'm just not feeling up to it. So that is kind of that. Have that done, and I haven't really tested the bamboo one to see how well it works, but it should work fine. And this is what we had before, and this was a few months worth of production, and you'd think that it would be a little bit higher, but unfortunately not. But yeah, so everything seems to be working well. So that's kind of that, and we've done a little bit of miscellaneous work for this episode, but I feel like this is a pretty good spot to leave off, especially since I want to get this video out before I go back to school in 2 days. So we're going to end off the video here. Thank you guys for watching. It feels so nice to be back on this world. I'm so happy to be back, and I have so many plans, some of which include finally doing an interior for in here. Haven't completely decided on how I want to do the interior, but I'm going to finally do it. So we'll do that. We'll finish the build behind us, and I've got a whole bunch of other stuff in the plans, in the works for this world that we can work on this year, honestly. It's 2025. This will be my first video in the new year. So anyways, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Comment, like the video, you know, YouTube stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next episode sometime soon. Bye!